What'd you think I'd do? Body snatched off a dead man or something, huh?
You said it, Mac. We didn't.
Come on, let's get the shoe clerks out of the game, huh?
Oh.
Come on. What's the matter with you guys? The money's good.
What happened?
The money they gave us, one of the bills had some blood on it.
What did you do?
Threw me. I said what I had to say. And we can't stand around out here. Let's go. How's he doing, buddy?
He's resting easy. Captain said he called.
Yeah, I know what the captain said.
Hey.
Yeah, look, he's coming out of it now.
Hey, Corporal. Knock it off.
All we're concerned with, Sergeant, is getting this man back to battalion headquarters as quickly as possible and returning to our own outfit. Now, you can understand that.
Lieutenant, if you're so anxious to get back to your outfit, you can go right now. We'll see that the prisoner gets sent on.
He's coming out of shock, Sarge. I don't think he'll make it back to battalion. That's a rough road.
Our CO was very specific about getting this man back to battalion, and I'm responsible for doing that. Now, they have men there trained to interrogate ranking officers.
They'll still be there in 4 hours, Lieutenant.
He should go now.
Well, knows what the doctor told me. He gets sent back to battalion in 4 hours.
Well, let's say he goes now.
Look, Corporal, if you want, I could turn my back and you can go find a vehicle. And you and the Lieutenant can take your prisoner any way you want. Then it's your problem, it's your responsibility. You could turn up a battalion with a dead body and a fancy uniform. And you can do the explaining.
You sure have a lot of sensitivity to these crowds, Sarge. How do you make out like that around here?
The war's over for him. I don't see any point in kicking him to death.
I'll go see if I can't scrouge up a vehicle.
Perhaps Sergeant is right, Corporal. It's only a few more hours until they send the ambulance.
Yes, sir.
Our CO is a tough Joe. A real tough Joe. When he gives an order, everybody jumps. Sometimes we jump so fast we forget our responsibilities. You know what I mean, Sergeant.
Sure, Lieutenant.
Roush. Roush.
Roush, huh? I never got past a cigarette.
Yeah, Rauch, it's part of the verb to smoke.
That in 4 years of college wins him a gold bar, Sarge. Well, what do you say we forget about the lectures for a while, Lieutenant, and go out and get a little chow? Yeah, keep an eye on our boys, Sarge. We'll be back for him.
You don't understand. You have got to be flexible. Be able to change your plans when you have to.
We'll think of something.
The plans must be changed. The colonel was supposed to be sacrificed as a prisoner, not killed. You'll find another method of getting through to battalion. You're inhuman. A machine. A machine with a certain facility for American words and no more.
Ralph? No, Lieutenant, you may be right. troop leaders thought of me that way. Inhuman. Let me tell you something about us Inhumans. We all have one thing in common. An instinct for survival. Now, one more slip, Lieutenant, and I may have to kill you. Just so this animal can survive. Up there, Lieutenant. First shot at that window. That looks pretty safe.
Cover Corporal, and I'll cover you.
You'll cover me. What happened if you have to shoot?
If you mean that man back there, I couldn't get a clear shot at him.
Sergeant Sawyer, is that what you're going to tell him?
Yes. Yes, I couldn't get a clear shot.
Not one. Not one clean shot, not the whole time.
Well, I can explain it. Perhaps my gun jammed.
Sure, Lieutenant.
There were many reasons why I couldn't shoot that man. There'll be no more mistakes. You'll see. They have no reason to suspect.
You go ahead. I'll cover you. Silver Lieutenant?
It was just a probing action, Lieutenant. They were just as anxious to get out as we were. Any casualties? No casualties. You know, Lieutenant, I've been wondering about those two men that came up with the Kraut Colonel.
Yeah?
I don't know, there's something off somewhere. I've been wondering about it.
Saunders. I thought you said there weren't any casualties.
I didn't think there were any.
Good man.
Yeah. You two must have been together a long time, huh?
Yeah, long enough. Sergeant, what about that ambulance?
It'll be here.
Where'd you
say he was from? Lieutenant, I mean.
I didn't say. From out west.
Huh? I'm from out west. Whereabouts?
You ever been in Jersey City, Sergeant? Well, back there, you're either from New York or you're from out west. Who knows, from Seattle or Wisconsin.
That's all you know about him, huh? Just that he was from out west, huh?
He's a good man, though. Hey, Sarge, maybe a lieutenant ought to try to reach those jokers up at battalion. See if they haven't forgotten about our prize package in there, huh?
Okay, you keep an eye out here and I'll check inside.
Okay, Sarge. Hubba hubba.
Yeah. Hubba hubba. Sim? Can I talk to you a minute, Lieutenant?
Yeah, sure.
It's about those two soldiers from the 594th. I'd like you to call battalion on them.
Call battalion.
Yes, sir, to see if the 594th is carrying them on a arrester.
Look, I'm pretty busy. Let's play games tomorrow, Saunders.
I'm not playing games, Lieutenant. Those two, they just don't add up. Lieutenant, I think they're Krauts. I've got reasons. They're not big ones, but I got a lot of them.
Well, suppose you start with number one.
All right, what about the way they're trying to get this wounded colonel back to the battalion? They scream at every delay.
They want to get back alive.
Lieutenant, it just doesn't add up. A 4-hour delay? Oh, I talked to Lieutenant Comstock before he was killed, and I don't know what it is, Lieutenant, but there's something strange about him.
A lot of second lieutenants are strange. Besides, Kanger fits.
Does he, Lieutenant? Does he really fit? Just another GI? He's always trying to make a point. He's always pushing like that hubba-hubba talk. Lieutenant, supposing he is a Kraut, and he gets back to battalion, he can cause a lot of damage. He can knock off the top brass, blow out the message center, and the further back he goes, the more damage he can do.
You need that man back at battalion. No, I can't delay him anymore because of your feelings.
Look, Lieutenant.
That's all, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Man, you ought to retire before you kill someone.
Hey, Cooper, how'd you let yourself get this close to the action?
Yeah, so this is war. You know something? I'm sure glad you're up here. It makes me feel warm and safe back in my sack at night just knowing you're here. Oh, listen here, I volunteered for this mission. Yeah. And when the colonel found out about it, he says, if you get through all right, you got yourself a couple of days of rest and rehabilitation. Now, if you'll excuse me, gentlemen, I have things to do.
Hey, Sergeant.
Cooper.
Yeah.
Name's Kanger, 594th. I'll be going back with you.
Oh, well, it's always a pleasure to meet one of our fighting men, Corporal.
I'll give you a hand with a litter.
Yeah, come on, come on.
Spot it, buddies. Our colonel ready to go?
We have to wait, Corporal. There's going to be a delay.
Delay?
Waiting for a call from battalion.
Oh, come on, Lieutenant.
We wait, Corporal.
Yes, sir.
Oh, how you doing, Doc?
All right, how you doing, Doctor?
Oh, hey, I was just wondering if this fella's gonna be all right enough to answer a few questions when we get him back yonder.
Oh, I've done all I can. Maybe back at battalion.
Yeah, you seem to be doing just fine. You know,
Well, he doesn't seem to